And the weakness of the feminine is exactly what makes her so unique. Her having to say sorry all the time, being insecure, being a little bit shy, uncomfortable around a masculine man because she knows that, wow, okay, this is an actual contender for me. I need to be on my best behavior, right? Because I respect my femininity and I respect that this man respects what is inside of me. Being okay with their feminine weakness, their lower position to a man in the sense of the man is dominant and you're submissive. To the feminine woman, that's not seen as a sign
Ooh, child, that's where you fucked up. No one wants to be told that they are lower or that they are less than, especially when they are a woman that is out here carrying children, sometimes working, sometimes getting an education, sometimes actually bearing all the damn hardships of woman and motherhood. No one wants to be told that they're less than. And I don't know why y'all don't understand that. Like that, it's very demeaning. At this point, it's looking like these men just want us barefoot and pregnant. They don't want us to talk. They don't want us to have an opinion. They don't want us to have an education. They don't want us to do anything. Are women supposed to just sit down, look pretty, get married, get pregnant, and die? Like, I don't understand. Like, we're not allowed to do anything else. Is this what you're gonna teach your daughter? Be pretty and be cute and be prissy and wait for your Prince Charming.
Don't do anything else. Don't do anything else, darling.
Because you'll be too masculine. Because at this point, we have an education, we're masculine. We talk, we're masculine. We fight for our rights, we're masculine. Like, it's really ridiculous. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Okay, listen to this, man watching this. You are not all of our lives.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
The Mademoiselle, and this is my channel, and today we are going to be reacting to a video talking about the feminine woman. Now, this is a video that was sent in my The Mafia Discord. Yes, we got a chat. If you're not part of the chat, why you're not part of the chat, join down below. Also, for those of you guys who want to be YouTubers, I have developed my own YouTube planner made by me. Also, make sure you join the free networking group. I will have courses set up soon as well. I also do a free webinar once a month. I kind of skipped March. I definitely will have one in April. Stay tuned for the course updates. Also, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram because I'll be updating y'all on stuff or whatever. This is going to be a very interesting video. It has millions of views and I cannot wait to get into it. But before we get into it, this video is sponsored by Shadow's Edge. Now, we worked with them before and they are one of my favorite games ever. The game is brought to you by the Digging Deep Project. Now, this is actually a mental health game, and let me tell you this right now. After we react to this video, you're going to want to download this game and play it because I already could tell this video is going to be a lot just looking and judging by the dislike ratio. Now, the game is actually based on something called narrative therapy. And what's really cool is the game was developed by mental health professionals and the help of 500 young people. It's really cool. Like, it kind of takes you into a town and it's kind of like deserted and like a mess. And as you kind of go through it and you like make your own art, it's a graffiti game. Okay, now you already know I love my graffiti. Just look at my intro and all my past intros. I love graffiti, grew up in the hood. It's actually my favorite aesthetic, okay? If you guys seen my house tour, you've seen the intro of my house. I love graffiti. And essentially you get to draw graffiti all over the town, draw on the walls. And every time you draw on a wall, it brings a piece of the town back to life. Animals come back to life. Things start to open back up. And it's really cool. Really nice game, really fun. And essentially I followed everyone's advice and I actually bought an iPad specifically so I can play games. So we're going to be promoting way more games on this channel. And like I said, make sure you guys download Shadow's Edge. Super fun game. Everything you guys need is going to be down in the description and or the pinned comment down below. And of course, the game is 100% free. So let's get into the reaction. Now, I have to note, this is not by a black man. And yeah, I'm not sure what race or ethnicity he is. So it's just good to see someone else's perspective for a change. And this is kind of a long one. So get your tea, get your snacks, get everything ready because yeah.
The feminine woman is more rare than ever today, as young women are indoctrinated with the cancer that is feminism.
I'm sorry. Not really, but why he making this so goddamn sad? Like some feed the children type of commercial and shit. Like, come on now. Like, oh God, 13 seconds in, we already off to some bullshit. The cancer that is feminism. Let me just say this right now. I'm not a feminist. Oh my God. Canceled. Loses 10,000 subscribers. Listen, I'm not going to say I'm not for women. I'm not going to say I'm not for women rights because I am. Because I believe women should be able to do whatever it is that they want to. I believe they should be able to do whatever men choose to do. I believe they should be able to be paid exactly the way men are paid. I believe that they should be able to get the same education, etc. However, I believe this feminist movement is extremely detrimental, unfair, toxic in a lot of ways. As a black woman, I do not care or support the feminism movement whatsoever because of the detrimental and disrespectful actions of the feminist movement on the backs of black women. The feminist movement has used black women as guinea pigs for their movement from the dawn of time. Hence, if anything, I guess I would be considered a womanist, but if anything, I'm just Ivana and I believe in equality for all, and that's that. I don't believe in people just putting the word black in front of feminism and trying to make it okay. I don't like that whole idea of anyone putting black in front of any word. Black people, listen to me right now. Can we like stop this whole idea of just putting black in front of words? Can we just make our own shit? Or can we just use what has been set forth for us? So in this essence, the word for us would be womanism. It does not fight for the rights of black women, never did, never has. And if anything, if anyone's gonna comment down below and try to act like it does, it really doesn't. If anything, they just use black people as a prop and as a poster to make it seem like they're inclusive, when in actuality, they just use us to parade their shit just like everything else. I said what I said. If you don't agree, that's your problem. You can continue to wear your black feminist t-shirts and shit, but it ain't gonna be me.
Themselves, nor do they respect men.
Okay.
As a gender, we collectively lament that feminine women are nowhere to be found. But on the rare chance that we do spot a unicorn somewhere in the woods, we're beyond elated, because there is nothing like a feminine woman. This is what a feminine woman really is. Hey, it's Yogi Obes. What is a feminine woman? Well, she's born with it. And she is a woman who is feminine. Who...
Ooh, child. Ain't nobody born being fucking feminine. Nobody. No one's born feminine. No one's born masculine for the most part. I believe all of that is taught because essentially environment as well as upbringing is what shapes people. I believe certain things can be taught, and I believe we kind of do have natural abilities. So maybe, okay, you know what? Maybe. I'll give him that.
Replicate. Who a man cannot be. Ever. There's something unique about a feminine woman that we all know and recognize. We all adore what she embodies. And today, more so than ever, feminine women threaten the masculinized woman, the feminists, the feminazis, who look down upon their own femininity and the femininity of their peers. Now, this question of how do you become a more feminine woman?
All right, pause. He's right about that. Now, all right, you know what? Now we got to get into that. All right. Boom. Let me just say this right now. I am not feminine in a general sense. With my man, I'm feminine. In a general sense, in the overall essence of me, I don't think I'm feminine personally. I feel like I have adapted feminine attributes over time. However, I have not really, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like a lot of people see me as feminine because of the way I dress, right? I'm the type of person, when you see me, I'm always very, very dressed, very, very polished. My nails are always done. I don't always have makeup on, but I always have heels on. My hair is always done. My nails are always done, and I'm always dressed. Even if I like have Adidas on, like Adidas sweats on or whatever, I look good. Like, I'm that type of person. I like to look good, and I'm usually, even though I curse all the time, I'm usually very proper when I'm cursing. Like, I guess. So for the people that don't know me, to the outside looking in, I do look like a feminine person. But for the people that actually know me and the people who watch my channel, they would know I'm not that feminine. I can see the difference between how I used to act towards men and how I act towards my man now, right? I used to never understand, in general, why it was that I couldn't find a nigga, okay? I couldn't understand it. I didn't understand why I was single. Even though I was more so single by choice, I had options, right? Like, there were men that would approach me. They just weren't the type of men that I wanted. And then it came to my attention that I was extremely independent, and it came off very masculine to a lot of men. And to be honest, I had to make a choice. Now, personally, I was not about to change my whole self. I wasn't about to be no prissy la bitch. I wasn't. But I did understand that to many men, that a lot of my, I guess, masculine attributes was very off-putting to a lot of men. But in the same regard, my man in particular, and a lot of men that I come across, would actually respect me a lot for my hustle, for my grind, for my personality as a whole. So it was weird. It was like a lot of men didn't necessarily want to date me, but they really respected me. It was the strangest phenomenon. So it was like, okay, so you respect me, but you don't want to be with me. And I could not understand it. And what I came to the conclusion was, recently actually I came to this conclusion, is that a lot of men have not been forced to change their way of thought. So if you are masculine, feminine, whatever the case may be, whether you're male or female, just understand the thought that men have not been forced to change the way they think. Think about it. Women have been put through the suffrage movement, the feminist movement. Let's just bring it all the way back from having to work while their husbands were in war, having to, fight for the right to vote, all of this extra shit. They have had to change throughout the decades. Men have had to be men. That's it. They haven't had to change anything socially. They haven't had to have their beliefs or their social structure changed at all. Really, really think about it and comment down below if you agree. This is a problem. Women have been challenged in their way of thinking and their way of life. Hence why we raise our girls differently. Many of us have raised our girls to be significantly more independent. And this is extremely good and extremely bad, because since we're raising our girls to be significantly independent due to times changing, Sage, no. It's not playtime, no. Since we're raising our girls to be significantly more independent and raising our girls to be more self-sufficient, a lot of men are kind of intimidated by this because they have been kind of like on the forefront of they don't need me. And I had so many guys telling me this. Oh, well, what do you need a man for? You're so independent. You got this, you got that. What do you need a man for? And it's crazy because anytime a man would ask me this, I could not answer the question. I could not answer the question of, wait, what do I need a man for? Like, it was so weird. It's like, I want to be loved. I want to have kids. I want to be married. But it's like, yeah, like, what do I need a man for? Like, what? Like, it was so weird. Like, eventually, I figured it all out. I love my man now. But I realized, like, it comes to a point where women are extremely masculine to the point where they're too independent and they're too self-sufficient that it is off-putting, and it kind of makes people look at you a certain way. It kind of makes people or men, okay, in the dating scene kind of feel inferior. And a lot of you guys be like, okay, well, that's not my problem. It's not. It really isn't. And that's a man's problem. It really is. But when you look at it in the form of a lot of men have not been challenged in the way they think, it actually makes you change your perspective, because if they haven't been challenged in the way they think, you really can't blame them for the way they think. But guessing from this dislike ratio, I can assume that there's a lot worse being said here. So sorry guys for the long little rant, but comment down below if you agree or disagree with what I said.
And I can't tell you how to be a more feminine woman. What I can tell you
Because you're not
is what is
woman,
feminine,
so.
what is not feminine, and what a feminine woman is. You might be wondering, why is a man telling you this? What are his qualifications, you might be wondering. Well, there's two that I have in particular. And the first one is that as a masculine man, I tend to attract feminine women. It's chemistry. There's positive, there's negative. They attract each other. And that's why sexual dimorphism is so important. That's why the culture today that is actively trying to erode sexual dimorphism by telling us that there are multiple genders is a very toxic thing for women, because it's causing them to question that femininity that they're born with. There are a lot of mixed messages about what it is, what it embodies, and how it can benefit your life.
To be honest, that's all a crock of bull. At the end of the day, no one who is 100% straight is sitting there questioning their sexuality due to society. Anyone who is what they are is what they are because they are what they are. I'm really, really tired of people blaming society and people actually living their truth as a means of, oh, well, it's because they're living their truth, it's actually affecting other people. No, it's not. What's affecting you and what's affecting other people is the fact that you didn't know who the fuck you were in the first place. And that's your personal fucking problem. It has absolutely nothing to do with other people living their truth and actually being true to themselves. That has nothing to do with anything else. Like, I have this argument with people all the time. People always try to say that, oh, well, this agenda of the LGBTQIA plus, it's messing up this, that. No, it's not. Okay, because people who are people are people. If you were so confident in your sexuality and your beliefs, none of that would affect you. None of that would bother you, because it does not affect your day to day. People are so concerned with other people's life that it's concerning to me, because it's like, why in the world does it bother you so bad? If you're straight and you're, Catholic or Protestant or, evangelist or whatever the hell you are, why does it bother you that someone is, a transgender woman who chooses to be an atheist and, wants to live in a cave? Like, why does that bother y'all? Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm younger. I don't know. He looks pretty young too. Who knows? Let me see. Let's keep watching.
Or harm it. Now, the second qualification I have is I lived in Portland, Oregon for 3.5 years. And this is a city where I've never seen the type of people anywhere else in my entire life. And the first thing I noticed on my first day in Portland was that the men were more feminine looking. They were skinnier and just didn't look like their testosterone levels were as high as men on the East Coast where I grew up, where people are a bit more rugged, aggressive, and more masculine. Then I noticed that the couples, the girls these guys were dating, were maybe a little bit more overweight. They didn't look feminine to me. They weren't appealing to me in any way, shape, or form. There's some...
What the fuck is this nigga talking about? Listen, I never been to nobody Portland, Oregon, but I'm from New Jersey. I be in New York all the time. I be in PA. I be all over the East Coast. Personally, I have no idea what he's talking about. We are way more aggressive over here. I have no idea about over there. I don't know about men looking more masculine over here. I feel like I see all types of men over here, especially in New York. Like, there's all types of different men in New York. This man's observation is very interesting. I don't know. Comment down below. If you happen to be from Oregon, I would love to get your insight, because this sounds like a crack of gaga.
Wrong there. And for them, that works out really well, because if the man is less masculine, for him, the ideal relationship should be with a woman, if he's heterosexual, that is not as feminine, right? So being actively involved in the dating scene in Portland, I noticed that I wasn't attracted to women in Portland, whether they were living there for a long period of time or if they were from out of state or out of the country and really liked the idea of being a feminazi, reading feminist books, and being masculine. These women and I just didn't get along too well. We could talk and shoot the shit, but she could detect that, oh, this guy's got that natural masculinity that's a threat to me. When a feminine woman is around a masculine man, she's at peace and in harmony because she sees her polar opposite, her complement.
Okay. All right. I see where he's coming from with that, but not for the reasons he's giving. Now, in terms of the new woman, that's what we're going to say. We're not even going to say feminine and masculine because I feel like that's kind of offensive in the way that a lot of people say it these days. Like, not that being masculine or feminine is offensive. The way people use it, it's kind of like just as an insult. So we're just going to say the new woman, okay? The new woman is more concerned with education, exploring her sexuality, being more free in terms of being able to voice her opinions, being able to be heard, actually dibbling and dabbling in social, political, and other issues that actually shape her and the world around her. So the sad part is, like I said before, most men have not been challenged in their thought. Therefore, most masculine men don't like to talk about social issues, don't like to talk about any issues at all. And I know this because my man is very masculine, very masculine, black man, very masculine. He's very traditional as well. We both have masters. We both, have bachelors, of course, because we have masters, right? We both grew up in the same hood. We're both Haitian. However, he's very masculine. I'm masculine as well. I'm feminine around him and I'm feminine, I guess, whatever. But I'm very much a new woman, as I like to say, right? So when it comes to hard conversations or conversations in regard to being a new woman, it makes him very uncomfortable. Personally, I'm very adaptable. I can adapt to lots of different situations in terms of conservative friends. I have friends that are transgender, I have friends that are gay, I have friends that, people get confused because it's like they only know a little bit of me, they only know a part of me, but it's like for me, I can adapt because I'm very, very understanding of different parts. I may not agree, but I can definitely understand different parts of people and understand that different people think differently than me. The problem with a lot of masculine men or a lot of traditional people is that they're very, very set in their ways and they don't like to argue and they don't like to get in situations where they might not agree and they might say something offensive or get into an argument. And my man is very much so like that, as well as a lot of traditional people as a whole. That's why people like, what's her name? That's always getting dragged on YouTube. That girl, the conservative girl, that's always getting dragged, y'all. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. She's always talking about, being the modest girl and being the perfect girl and being the feminine woman. She always gets dragged, and it's like she's not really necessarily saying anything wrong, but since she's so traditional and feminine and conservative, people are constantly dragging her and picking her apart, because at the end of the day, when you are traditional, when you have these conservative views, people are going to drag you, because now we're in that liberal time where that is not in, that is not okay. Most people are going to be intimidated by that because we live in a time where no one wants to have a conversation, everyone wants to fight. Let's just say it. Nobody wants to have a conversation. Everybody wants to belittle each other. Everybody wants to argue. Nobody wants to have a conversation. And that's the main problem that we're having. It has nothing to do with masculine or feminine or anything else. It has a lot to do with our generation specifically does not know how to have a conversation without having a fucking screaming match. We do not know how to communicate effectively whatsoever. Instead of communicating, instead of actually being respectful towards one another, we scream at each other, we disrespect one another, we berate one another, we disrespect one another. That is the source of our main problem in society today. We are very mean to one another when we do not agree. So it's not even a sense of this is a masculine man, I'm threatened. It's more so of a, he's not going to understand where I'm coming from and I'm not going to understand where he's coming from, so I'd much rather stay away. away. That's essentially what it is. Like, he is so far-fetched, he don't even know what the fuck he's saying. He's like so far up his ass right now, it's really fucking annoying. I'm trying my hardest to be objective, but I think I'm actually doing a pretty good job by not dragging him. But I think that's a better way of explaining it, to be honest.
Someone that she can be safe with. The feminist, on the other hand, or the masculinized woman who is a feminist, let's be very clear, because it is very natural for there to be some variation in the level of femininity in a typical woman. And those women, they have no problem with masculine men. The naturally occurring, slightly more masculinized women have no problem with masculine men. It's the women who absorb feminist ideology who have problems with masculine men, because they're trying to compete with them. Now, every 2 to 3 months or so, a very feminine woman would move to Portland or visit Portland. And during my days, I would walk around the city a lot. I didn't have a car. I would notice people, I would notice trends. And if I saw one of those feminine women, it was like seeing an oasis in a desert after walking through it all day and just being super dehydrated. I would occasionally go up to them and say hello. Because I was just flabbergasted that these women still existed. And every single time I noticed that they weren't from Portland, Oregon. I noticed that even in myself, after especially 2 years of living in Portland, I couldn't even handle their femininity anymore. That just goes to show you that a man born in Portland, he has no idea what a feminine woman is.
That just goes to show that you just couldn't get a bitch. He sounds ridiculously thirsty. Sir, you lived in Portland, Oregon for 3 years. Portland, Oregon for 3 years. I don't know what part, but Portland, Oregon is a pretty decent sized place. You lived in one part for 3 years. You're acting like you lived there for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You don't seem to have that big, well-rounded of a perspective, to be honest. And even if that were the case, it just sounds like your personal story, which is your personal story. But you can't then turn around, sit there and say that, oh, well,
Yeah, men in Portland, Oregon don't know what it's like to be with a feminine woman.
shut up. Just say you couldn't find a woman, okay? No girls was giving you any play, and that's it. Why couldn't he just say that? Ain't no girls was giving me any play. But instead he had to turn this into a feminine, a masculine. No, this has nothing to do with masculine and feminine women whatsoever, to be quite honest with you. Okay, I'm 5 minutes in. I don't see it. I don't see it.
And women today are not being appreciated for who they are. That actually predisposes them towards questioning their own femininity. So I'd like to share with you a specific woman who just blew my socks off. She was from Toronto, and I had met her the last month I was in Portland. And we started talking, we went out on a date, played some pool. I believe she got a drink and I just drank some water. And it was unfortunate because I noticed that I really liked her as a person, and her personality filled up the entire room, the way she just smiled and just the energy in her eyes. And it was greater than the personality of everybody in Portland put together. And I'm not exaggerating at all. The way I feel around vibrant people, the way you feel around vibrant people,
she ain't want you
it's just an amazing feeling.
She probably wants you
makes you feel more alive.
What happened to her?
Whereas in Portland, due to very high rates of depression,
What happened to her?
you don't really get that same vibe,
So
So we hung out once, and, kind of became apparent that, since I was leaving, it wasn't really going to work out. But one thing she said that really separated her from the other woman I dated in Portland, she said, "Oh, I'm kind of sad you're going to leave." And right there, I said, wow, no one's ever said that to me. What kind of...
Because you're a loser! I'm sorry.
modern woman says, "Oh, I'm kind of sad you're going to leave." It's like she's got so many options. She doesn't care. A feminine woman respects a masculine man. And
I'm sorry, what is he talking about? Any woman, okay, who thinks that you're cute, who vibes with you, who spend time with you, who hears that you're moving is going to say that they're going to miss you. What kind of shit? Yo, this man is wild. Now I know why this shit has so many dislikes. Oh, wait, let me serve it. Let me serve my dislike. Okay. You sound ridiculous now. You sound real ridiculous. Like, sound like he just couldn't get up here. What the fuck is he talking about right now? Like, she didn't say anything special. She ain't say nothing. She ain't say nothing that nobody else...
defined by her relationship to a masculine man. No, I'm not saying that her existence depends on a masculine man. I'm saying the definition of a feminine woman depends on its contextual relationship to the presence of masculinity in men.
No, it does
These
not.
are the pillars of society. It builds stronger families and peace at home. A lot of feminine women might think that being sad or clingy or all these emotions you have is a weakness. And then society keeps telling you, oh, you can be strong like a man, never cry, just push through all obstacles, be aggressive, be a champion, be a lady boss. But what if weakness isn't always a bad thing? We all have...
But why can't you be both? I feel like I'm an embodiment of both. I feel like you can definitely be both, and I feel like a lot of women have been forced to be both with the, whole rates of men leaving their children behind. Life happening. Like I said, throughout history, a lot of women have been forced to being the head of the household, forced into being the breadwinner, etc. So I personally don't understand why when men say bullshit like this, they don't take into account what women have had to go through for centuries because of them. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You can't sit up on camera talking about the feminine woman. The feminine woman is dying without acknowledging why the feminine woman is dying. You guys have forced the hand of feminine woman to off herself. You guys have forced feminine women into a corner. This is why most women have been forced to be very masculine in a sense. Because personally, it doesn't really make sense to demonize women for being strong or acting the same way men do. I feel like essentially we should all raise people to be the same. We should raise men and women to be the same in terms of responsibility and being strong. I do believe that men and women are completely different, and we both have different roles and societies in the world and in terms of children, which he did bring up. I do believe though that we definitely do need two different energies, and I've said this before and people definitely took what I said out of context. I do believe children need masculine and feminine energy. Now, this could be a lot of different things. A lot of people could take this a lot of different ways. By masculine and feminine energy, that doesn't specifically mean a man and a woman, because like we're talking about today, a man and a woman can possess different types of energies. So what I mean by is, even if the man is both or the woman is both or whatever the case may be, you do need those two energies to raise a proper child in order to function in society. I don't believe too much feminine or too much masculine energy is good for a child. That's just my personal opinion. You can sound off down below.
And the weakness of the feminine is exactly what makes her so unique. Her having to say sorry all the time, being insecure, being a little bit shy, uncomfortable around a masculine man, because she knows that, wow, okay, this is an actual contender for me. I need to be on my best behavior, right? Because I respect my femininity, and I respect that this man respects what is inside of me. The reality is that feminine women aren't an anomaly. It's just that the message today being sent to women is that all of these traits you have are bad. The details are, but there's a societal just discrimination against the feminine woman. So a feminine woman is so happy and comfortable in who she is as a woman.
First of all, there is a discrimination against women, period. I actually wanted to make a video about this in general, but the whole hatred for women in general is disgusting around the world, okay? From people in China specifically killing their daughters if they don't have a son, because we all know they're not allowed to have more than one child in a lot of cases. From a lot of people literally out here mutilating their daughters' genitals, okay? Yes, in many countries, they actually circumcise their daughters. Like, there's lots of horrible things going around to girls, and it actually makes me think, like, I don't understand why y'all do all of this shit to girls when essentially girls are very essential to the world. If there's no woman, y'all can't fucking reproduce. Like, we hold the babies. So until y'all can make babies in an incubator, y'all fucking need us. So y'all need to start respecting us just a little bit more. That would be great. But
And I saw a girl that I was interested in. She looked like she had some Middle Eastern descent, maybe more Iranian-ish kind of northern area. Fair skin, but not white. Like kind of white, but not white. You know what I mean? Not exotic. That's not a thing. Exotic is not a thing. Everyone's exotic to someone. She was sitting by herself. I went up to her and I said, hello. I thought it was respectful. Guess what she told me? She said, I shouldn't be going up to girls when they're sitting at tables and talking to them. That's bad.
Never heard
so
that
I noticed
before.
the feminist vibe in her. She happened to be actually a English professor at Portland State University. Mistake.
Damn.
Bad mistake. I simply said, I strongly disagree with you. And I just walked away. And as I walked away, she's like muttering under her breath or something, because maybe she wanted to have a debate with me or something like that. But she's not in her feminine, even though she has the potential for it as a woman. As a healthy, normal woman. We have to realize that not everyone has to be a feminine woman. There's so...
First of all, I don't even understand that encounter. I don't know why she said that. Maybe she just didn't want to be bothered. Maybe she didn't think he was cute. Honestly, bottom line, this story honestly just explains that you couldn't get a bid. Why are you telling these stories? It's really embarrassing for you, bro. Very embarrassing.
much variation in the way people are. And today, because of LGBT culture acceptance, women who are rejects of femininity are able to express themselves in a certain way and create alternate identities that can be accepted by other social groups. But for traditional people today, the norm, feminine women aren't appreciated enough. What I would like to see is feminine women feel more empowered in being who they truly are, in being okay with their feminine weakness, their lower position to a man in the sense of the man is dominant and you're submissive. To the feminine woman, that's not seen as
Ooh, child, that's where you fucked up. That whole you're lower and you're submissive is where a lot of women don't fuck with, okay? That's where you got a lot of us fucked up. Why do y'all have to say that? Why does that have to be a thing? Why can't we just all be on the same level socially, okay, as human beings? I think that's where a lot of that gets muttered. No one wants to be told that they are lower or that they are less than, especially when they are a woman that is out here carrying children, sometimes working, sometimes getting an education, sometimes actually bearing all the damn hardships of woman and motherhood. No one wants to be told that they're less than. And I don't know why y'all don't understand that. Like, that, it's very demeaning.
To the masculinized feminist, she feels that there's some kind of subordination, maybe economic subordination. Oh, I have to rely upon a man. I don't want to do that. Well, go figure. These feminists who don't want to do that tend to not have as much femininity that would create a stable partnership between herself and a masculine man, where she wouldn't feel subordinate, she wouldn't feel restricted by any means. There's obviously a balance you have to have, because femininity can be taken advantage of, most certainly. And in a variety of countries throughout the world, women still have a very inferior position as citizens of their countries. They have a lot of restrictions. And so we have to come to a place of balance where we understand that the self-realization for any human being is an important goal. And women should have the same rights to life, liberty, and happiness as a man. That's exactly it. Is being a masculinized woman giving women more life, more liberty, and happiness?
That's
or was there more life, liberty, and happiness when you accepted your feminine?
There wasn't.
And submitted to a man.
There's
or at
none
least
on both
respected a masculine man. See, women today aren't respectful of men. That's not a feminine thing, because that means they're trying to compete with him. They're trying to be so individual that there's no regard to the natural order of things, the relationship between man and woman. This is just an introduction to what femininity is from a man's perspective, and how the modern woman can feel more empowered to embrace.
Oh God, shut up. Okay, the video's done, whatever. That was really stupid and a waste of my goddamn time, but it actually did open up grounds for a conversation that I've been meaning to have for quite some time. So yeah, in terms of the whole masculine versus feminine woman situation, like I said, we need to stop saying that in terms of using it as an insult and a glorification, because it's not cute, okay? Saying someone's a feminine woman in terms of glorifying her, and saying someone is a masculine woman in terms of degrading her, is just disgusting, and it needs to stop, and it's not okay. So let's just stop that right there. Let's just say the traditional woman and the new woman. Could we just do that or something? Like, could we just pick new names? Because I really don't like that, okay? So that's one. Two, in terms of the whole masculine woman situation, the new woman is not trying to compete with men. And I feel like that is a common misconception. No one is trying to compete with y'all. The whole general consensus is women want to be treated equally, given the same opportunities as men. They want to be regarded as human beings. They want to be treated with respect the same way men are. But sadly, because we are women, we are disrespected, we are violated, we are everything under the sun but a child of God. Therefore, that's why there are movements such as the feminist movement, the womanist movement, the feminazi movement, and other such movements that essentially try to win over rights and try to parade the rights and spread awareness about women rights that need to be talked about, because there's so many misconceptions there. So you guys can go look up and research your own about what those movements specifically are. I personally think that a lot of the feminist movement has become extremely detrimental and extremely damaging. I feel like the movement has actually caused a lot of havoc in terms of actually enabling a lot of bad behavior among women or against women. It has made us look really, really bad. And if anything, like he said, I do agree with that. I don't think it's done much for us. But let's be real, being so feminine didn't really do much for us either. It's a lose-lose situation whether we are feminine or masculine. So realistically, I feel like the feminine movement will do a lot, and I feel like over the years it has made some progress though, to be honest. I feel like they have. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like the feminine movement has done some progress socially, but in terms of relationships, I genuinely feel like it is extremely detrimental. At this point, it's looking like these men just want us barefoot and pregnant. They don't want us to talk. They don't want us to have an opinion. They don't want us to have an education. They don't want us to do anything. Are women supposed to just sit down, look pretty, get married, get pregnant, and die? Like, I don't understand. Like, we're not allowed to do anything else. Is this what you're gonna teach your daughter? Just be pretty and be cute and be prissy and wait for your Prince Charming.
Don't do anything else. Don't do anything else, darling.
Because you'll be too masculine. Because at this point, we have an education, we're masculine. We talk, we're masculine. We fight for our rights, we're masculine. Like, it's really ridiculous. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Okay, listen to this, man watching this. You are not all of our lives. There's many women out there that don't want to be married. And for the most part, for those of us who do want to be married, what happens if y'all die? Like, let's be real. We can always get remarried, but like, let's be real. Like, it's just ridiculous to have to just rely on someone else. And it's not even just a masculine thing, or not even just on that regard. Just the whole idea of having to rely on someone else is extremely exhausting. So if you can make it for yourself, if you can have your own, why not? I don't understand. If you can be strong, if you can get an education, if you can be who you want to be, why not? I don't see the problem with it. This video was ridiculous. I feel like he just couldn't get a bitch and he wanted to make a video about it and try to attach a social issue to it. Maybe there's better videos out there explaining it better than he did, but this was garbage. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below. Make sure you guys go download Shadow's Edge and go play it to relieve some stress from listening to this utter rubbish. And of course, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, smash every button. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. Join the Discord. Everything you need is down in the description and or the pinned comment down below.